So, a few of you have said that you are finding this assessment tricky. So what I've done, is I've just spent about 15 minutes making a video to go through this paper of how to do it, and I managed to record it with no voice, which was great. So I don't really want to rewrite it all, so I'm going to talk you through my work, okay? Hopefully it'll be enough. So if you have a read of the question, I'm just going to read through what I did. So if two things are happening, doesn't mean they have the equal chance of happening. That would be if that would be when it is the probability of half is the same. Just because there are two options doesn't mean they're equally likely. Okay, you know, if I look at the weather tomorrow, there's a chance it could rain or it could not rain. Does it mean it's going to rain half the time? Tomorrow it's not going to rain. Okay, doesn't mean it's never going to rain. Just means it's only 50. It's not a 50% chance. Okay. So then rest probability is the more results you have for doing a relative frequency or a probability, the better. So you want to add up all their results and put them together because that'll get you a more accurate results. If you want both two things happening, you have to multiply them. So I just times the top and times the bottom. Now here, I could have simplified these fractions down. I didn't because it was a calculator question and I couldn't be bothered. But if you did, 64 over 200 would have cancelled down to 32 over 100, which would have cancelled down to 16 over 50, which would have cancelled down to 8 over 25. So then 8 over 25 times 8 over 25, 8 8 is 64. 25 times 25, I don't know. I probably could work it out, but I'll use a calculator. 25 times 25, 65. Okay. Right, keep going. This one, there are options. You've got a 1 on this one and a 1 on this one, or a 1 on this one and then a 2 on this one, a 2 on this one and then a 1 on that one, or a 2 and a 2. Probability of both 2 is one option out of all 4. Here we go. What's probability they watch athletics? Well, that's that whole athletic circle there, which is the 24 plus the 5, which is the 29. Cycling and athletics is the middle bit here, which is 5 over 50. And neither is the 11 over 50. Probabilities have to be up to 50. Two-way table, so I put my first one, these are those numbers there, and these ones are these numbers up the side. Now, ideally, obviously with a ruler and all of that, but try and split up your columns here so you don't end up counting your top numbers. Then I added them up, and then I looked at how many were less than 4, and there were 12 options that were less than 4, out of 36 options in total. Then to fill this in, 35 students in total, 18 have a brother, so that brother circle had to total 18. That sister circle had to total 20, and 7 was the middle bit. So because that had to be 20, I've used 7, that's 13 left. This had to be 18, I've used 7, that was 11 left. In total, for brothers and sisters, there was 31. There were 35 students, which meant 4 were only children. Again, this is something happening twice, both times, so it's a third times a third, which is a ninth. This one was a half and a half for the heads and tails. Hearts, diamonds, spades, clubs is 13 out of 52. They do often like to use playing cards for questions, especially probability. Lots of you don't use playing cards. Whilst you're all stuck at home, get out a set of playing cards, or order one or buy one from somewhere, they're cheap enough, and learn about a deck of cards, because it comes up in probability quite often, and lots of people don't know how many in a pack and don't know how many of each type, and so, you know, it's useful. Okay, play card games, great. Probability of getting a head on a coin and a club, so that's head and club, you times when you go across. None of this should be new, this is just recapping all the stuff that we learned last time. Here we go, so we've got a Venn diagram, so that means you have to put a box around it all. Jam, honey, 2 circles, they intersect. 23 liked jam and honey, so the middle bit was 23. 15 liked honey but not jam, so 15 only, not in the jam circle. 8 liked jam, so that's 8 in the jam circle but not in the honey bit. And 10 liked neither, so that's on the end. I added them all up to see how many were there, and there were 56 children. And what's the probability they liked jam? So jam was this big circle here, which was the 8 plus the 23, which was 31. Here we go. So if the probability of him winning was 5/6, probability of him losing was 1/6. If the probability of him winning Ludo was 1/4, the probability of him losing Ludo was 3/4, and it's going to be the same up here because whether he wins or loses at chess doesn't affect how he's going to perform in Ludo. Then work out the probability that he loses both, so that's lose and lose when we go across and multiply. I am going through these very, very quickly, I'm aware of that, but it's all stuff you've done before and it's an assessment stuff, so I want to give you just the bare minimum that you can get on with. So in a bag of sweets, this one's the most interesting question. 6 a lemon, 8 a strawberry. He chooses a sweet and eats it, then chooses another sweet. So first time he could choose a lemon or he could choose a strawberry. There were 6 lemon, 8 strawberry, 14 sweets in total in the bag. Okay, if he ate a lemon sweet first, then he could either eat a lemon sweet second or eat a strawberry sweet. Now, if he's already eaten the lemon sweet, well, there's no longer 6 lemon sweets in the bag, there's now only 5 lemon sweets in the bag. And there's no longer 14 sweets, there's only 13 sweets. But there are still 8 strawberry sweets because he hasn't eaten any. In another universe, he ate a strawberry sweet first, which means that he's only got 7 strawberries left, and he's still got 6 lemons. Probability they're both the same, so that's lemon and lemon, or strawberry and strawberry. So that's 6 over 14 times 5 over 13, added to 8 over 14 times 7 over 13. This is non-calculator. So 6 times 5 is 30, 8 times 7 is 56, 14 times 13, I did it this method here. If you have a long multiplication method, great. If you don't worry about it, you'll recap it next year, I'm sure. Or go online, take the opportunity now, look at different methods on YouTube. Lots of them are excellent. This is my favourite, easiest one. So it's 182, so it's 86 over 182. So I managed to do that speed through in half the time I did my last video. Hopefully the sound has worked for this one. Go back, pause, check where I got my numbers from, and try the other test paper. So the test A, this one's the test B. Try the test, so don't use the same numbers because it won't be the same. Go and try the test A for me, and upload it or email it to me